Have you ever pushed someone away, even though a part of you wanted them to stay? Maybe they were kind to you. Maybe they cared about you. Maybe they tried to understand you in a way that felt rare. But instead of moving closer, you became colder. You replied less. You acted distant. You made it seem like you did not need them. And later, when the room became quiet, you wondered why you did that. Why do we sometimes push away the people we actually need? At first, it may look like indifference. From the outside, it can seem like someone does not care. But often, pushing people away is not a sign that we feel nothing. It can be a sign that we feel too much, and we do not know how to handle it safely. When a relationship becomes important, it also becomes emotionally risky. The more someone matters to us, the more power they seem to have over our feelings. Their words can stay in our mind longer. Their silence can hurt more. Their absence can feel heavier. So the mind begins to protect itself. It says, if I do not get too close, I cannot be hurt too deeply. This is one of the main reasons people push away the ones they need. It is not always because they want distance. Sometimes distance feels like the only way to stay in control. For example, imagine someone who has been disappointed before. Maybe in the past, they trusted someone, opened up, and then felt rejected or abandoned. Even if the new person is different, the nervous system may still remember the old pain. So when someone starts getting close, the body does not only feel comfort, it may also feel danger. The mind begins to ask questions. What if they leave too? What if I care more than they do? What if I show my real self and they change their mind? What if I become too attached? These questions can create fear. And when fear becomes stronger than trust, a person may start creating distance before anything bad has even happened. This is why pushing people away is often a defensive behavior. It is an attempt to avoid future pain. The person may not say, I am scared. Instead, they may act busy. They may become sarcastic. They may stop sharing their feelings. They may pretend the relationship does not matter that much. But underneath that distance, there may be a very different truth. They may care deeply. They may want connection. They may be afraid that needing someone makes them weak. This is especially common when someone has learned that emotional closeness is not always safe. If a person grew up feeling ignored, criticized, rejected, or emotionally uncertain, they may become very sensitive to closeness. A warm relationship can feel beautiful, but also uncomfortable, because closeness requires vulnerability, and vulnerability means letting someone see the parts of us we usually hide. It means allowing someone to see our insecurity, our need, our fear, our softer side. For some people, that feels almost dangerous. Not because they do not want love, but because love asks them to stop hiding. So they pull away. A simple daily example could be this. Someone sends a warm message like, I really like talking to you. For one person, this may feel comforting. But for someone who fears emotional closeness, it may create panic. Instead of feeling only happiness, they may think, now they expect something from me. Or, what if I disappoint them? Or, what if I start depending on them too much? So they reply in a short, cold way. Or they wait hours before answering. Not because the message meant nothing, but because it meant too much. This can be confusing for both sides. The person being pushed away may feel hurt and rejected. They may think, maybe I cared too much, or maybe I did something wrong. But sometimes, the distance is not caused by a lack of feeling. It is caused by fear that the feeling is becoming too real. Another reason we push people away is the fear of losing control. When we are alone, we can manage our emotions by ourselves. We can decide what to show and what to hide. But when someone gets close, they begin to affect us. Their mood matters. Their attention matters. Their approval matters. For a person who is afraid of being emotionally dependent, this can feel threatening. They may think, I do not want anyone to have that much power over me. So they choose distance, not because distance makes them happy, but because distance feels safer than needing someone. But the painful truth is that this protection can become its own kind of loneliness. When we push away the people we need, we may avoid one kind of pain, but we create another. We avoid the risk of rejection, But we also lose the possibility of being understood. We avoid the fear of needing someone, but we also lose the comfort of being supported. The wall protects us, but it also keeps warmth out. This does not mean every relationship should be kept. Some distance is healthy. Some people really are unsafe. Sometimes walking away is an act of self-respect. But there is a difference between leaving because someone harms us and pushing someone away because closeness itself feels frightening. The important question is not simply, why did I leave? The deeper question is, was I protecting my peace, or was I protecting my fear? If someone consistently disrespects you, distance may be necessary. But if someone is kind, patient, and emotionally present, and you still feel the urge to run, it may be worth looking inward. Maybe the fear is not about what they have done. Maybe it is about what someone else did before them. Maybe your heart is reacting to an old wound in a new relationship. Healing this pattern does not mean forcing yourself to trust everyone. It means learning to notice the moment when fear begins to speak louder than reality. It means pausing before you disappear. It means asking, am I pulling away because this person is unsafe, or because being cared for feels unfamiliar? It means allowing yourself to move slowly, instead of running completely. Sometimes the bravest thing is not confessing everything at once. Sometimes bravery is simply staying present for one more honest conversation. You might say, I need time, but I do not want to push you away. You might say, closeness is hard for me, but I am trying. You might say, sometimes I act distant when I am scared. These small moments of honesty can change the direction of a relationship. They do not remove fear immediately, but they make fear less silent. And when fear is no longer hidden, it becomes easier to understand. Because in the end, many people who push others away are not trying to be cruel. They are trying not to be hurt. They are trying to protect a part of themselves that once felt unprotected. But protection should not become a prison. The people we need may not be easy to let in. Their kindness may feel unfamiliar. Their closeness may awaken fear. Their presence may remind us of how much we have wanted to be understood. But needing someone does not make us weak. It makes us human. So if you have ever pushed away someone you cared about, maybe the question is not only, why did I ruin it? Maybe the gentler question is, what was I afraid would happen if I let them stay? Because sometimes we do not push people away because they mean too little. Sometimes we push them away because they mean so much that losing them would hurt. And maybe healing begins when we realize that not every person who comes close is here to leave. Some people come close because they want to stay.